Yeah, I'm finally feeling it. Caffeine can only do so much. I'm kind of a little bit surprised that you're still as bright-eyed as you are, Hotshot. I guess I hadn't quite thought about it like that, but that's a good point. We probably should get to a good stopping place, though. We've been at this longer than we probably should have, considering what staring at screens like this for this long can do to your eyes. And I won't even touch the fact that I was practically curled up like a shrimp for most of the last few hours, even though my oh, 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 even though my vertebrae are all too happy to remind me right now. But I was just really caught up in the evidence I was seeing. I hate to say it was phenomenal because it almost sounds like a really bad pun, but it's honestly the best word I can think of to describe the sheer, frankly, almost overwhelming amount of evidence we ended up with. Do you. I have this little place I usually take guest investigators for breakfast the morning after their first investigations. Sort of a celebratory thing. Truthfully, it's where I go for breakfast after every investigation. Never mind that it's practically lunchtime. It's breakfast. um, do you want to come with me and grab some? I mean, I understand if you need to get back to your office or wherever instead. I know you're working against a clock, and I'm sure you don't have as much of a lead on it as you might actually need to beat your deadline, even if you don't end up changing the direction you intended to go with it when you came here. That's not. No, I'm not. I'd like to think you're a person who keeps their word. I just would understand if you didn't. Deadlines aside, it would make better, more believable news to stick to your first story. It makes more practical sense to say that we're a charlatan organization out to defraud people than it would be to claim that ghosts are real. The only real problem with your initial proposed story would be how easy any accusation of monetary fraud would be to disprove. But I'm sure there are other ways you could spread doubt about the society's legitimacy and still make your editors happy. That's all I'm saying. Well, when you come into contact with cynics often enough, eventually you can learn to sound like one when you really need to. I don't think it suits me, so I try not to need too often. Do you want to come grab breakfast? My treat. And I completely understand a no. Really? Okay, great. It's that diner at the intersection of Broadmoor and 12th, right next to Six Points Bistro. Okay, then I'll meet you over there. I just need to go ahead and get all of this saved and secured. Sure, I don't mind. I'm just gonna save the data and shut down the computers. And done. Were you curious about that process too? Oh, well, thank you. Thanks. Leaving together sounds good. Nice. Let's head out. I'll meet you over there. I'll still need to lock the front door. All right. You found the place. Great. Yeah, this is my favorite table. You get a really good view of everything going on, the life of the place. It's happening all around you, and they usually hold it for me if they know I'm coming. I might have called ahead and let them know we were. Sorry I didn't think to warn you ahead of time. It didn't occur to me that I maybe should have until I was practically here anyway. Have you had a chance to look at the menu? Yeah, there isn't a bad thing on the menu, truthfully. I'm partial to the Eggs Benedict, but the Belgian waffles are also awesome. The whipped cream they serve them with is actually fresh whipped cream and not the canned, sweetened stuff. And they grow the berries hydroponically in the kitchen. Dead serious. Oh my god. Yes. Yes, I'm completely serious. Oh. Anyway, you won't be disappointed in anything you choose. Sure, but why? Oh. Is this professional or personal? Well, it sounded less potentially hostile than, is this on the record or off? I'm not trying to pick a fight with you, Hotshot. I keep saying it, and I mean it. But sometimes the words just come out wrong. Because this is professional for you, but personal for me. And that's fine. We're allowed to approach something from opposite ends. No two people are the same, and motives are always going to be different from person to person and situation to situation. That's normal human life, right? Sometimes those opposite ends work like a bow across violin strings, and it's music, and it's magic, and it works like it should. And sometimes it's none of that. Sometimes it's flint and steel, and you get nothing but sparks. And sparks can be a great thing, a wonderfully useful tool. But they can also be destructive beyond any capacity to corral the damage. I'd much rather work this like a bow and a violin. But it feels like it started like flint and steel, and when one of us tries to change it, the other is a step behind and playing catch up. Fair. Ask away then. I'm at your disposal. No, like I said last night, I was absolutely a skeptic before I joined the society. So were both of my parents. But I went through some things that tested every single pillar of that staunch belief in non-belief. I got to a point with things where I either had to accept that maybe my skepticism was misplaced, or that I was convincing myself of things that weren't true. Neither option felt like a good one at the time, but I figured at least if I signed up, I'd know the truth for sure, one way or the other. My first case was honestly really special to me for a lot of reasons. Oh, but the one you and I had tonight... Oh, I don't know if I'll ever see another case like this one. We all dream of getting something like this, something this undeniable with this amount of concrete proof. Oh, don't pinch me. I don't want to wake up. Well, okay, you're right. I do need to go to sleep first. But, oh, have you not ever had something so amazing, so perfect happen that you're afraid it's actually just a dream? Oh, I've never had this happen before, not like this. This is just literally the best feeling I could ever imagine. The only way this could be any better is if we had any clues already to who this person was when they were alive, or if we'd gotten some sort of indication of it while we were there. Oh, this was an incredibly active investigation, and we got a really great jump start on it. I can't even remember the last time we had one quite like this. Oh, no, that won't be for at least another week or so. We still have to finish going through the evidence and compiling the report of the activity in a format that's easy for the client to follow, plus the research into the building to see if we can determine a source of the haunting. Because if we can figure that out, then we can at least give a reason to the client, and sometimes that helps them feel a little more at ease. We can't exorcise the ghost or remove it from the premises or anything like that. I mean, we aren't the Ghostbusters. None of that is real. That isn't the first time I've heard someone say that. I said it once, too. It's okay if you're still skeptical. I get it. And it's okay if this wasn't enough for you to change your story. I get that, too. No one would blame you if this just feels too absurd to accept, no matter what you lived through or saw. Some things we just can't accept as fact, no matter how much evidence there is. In a situation like this, well, let's just say you wouldn't be the first person I know to go through something like last night and still think it's all made up. Well, because you have to be. If I spend all my time and emotional energy arguing with people who don't believe, I can't help the people who do believe, who need me and my expertise. That matters more to me than winning converts. And besides, who's ever been made to truly believe something by force? Even if the force is just a desire to get me to stop talking to them or berating them. People believe all sorts of things, for all sorts of reasons. All I can do is share what I know to be true and then accept whatever their truth is in return. I don't know. We might. It's gonna be hard to track down who that might have been. That's a commercial building that's stood pretty much since Sarley was founded. There's no telling how many people might have died there at one point or other, and that's assuming they're haunting it because it was their place of death. That's a dicey assumption to make. It could be any number of things. Honestly, it's entirely possible we'll never have an answer. But that part of the research won't start for another couple of days anyway. I can always email you and let you know if I manage to turn anything up. If you want. Yeah, I can. For now, though, I'm kinda wanting to order breakfast. I'm starting to feel my stomach rebelling at the fact that all I've had to eat in the last 12 hours was a grab bag of chips. You, you okay if we continue this conversation in a second? Cool. I'll flag down the waitress.